Hey Sagittarius, welcome to your monthly reading for April. It is a general reading. Take what resonates, leave the rest. Some of it might be for you, some of it might be for someone else. You could be a sun sign, moon sign, rising sign, or Venus sign, Sagittarius, or you could be watching for someone that is. Either way, I am grateful that you are here. Again, just feel into what the message is telling you. If you are emotionally triggered or you feel a strong emotional reaction to what I'm saying, feel into that. It's bringing something up in you that needs to be healed. Okay. All right, let's get right started on this. You can follow me on Instagram at Candy Wishman. I always forget this part, so I apologize. And I do a lot of Twinflame exclusive content on my Patron account. All the information is in the description box below. All right, so let's kind of take a look at the overall energy for you this month, Sagittarius. So again, this may not suit all Sagittarius, but you will know because you'll feel it in your heart. Okay, so we have Galactic Healer. This is a pretty intense card, I gotta tell you. Move forward with an open mind. I feel like this is totally suited for you. And maybe Galactic Healer may not resonate with everyone, okay? But the move forward with an open mind, I feel like that's just your natural state of being. To be open-minded, to be far-sighted, to be, you know, forward-thinking even. And being that we are in Aries season still, this is generally a month about self. So I feel like this is totally about you. And for some of you, it is about healing yourself. Perhaps you've been thinking of healing others, maybe energetically, maybe with your gifts. It is a 17, which is a 7. It's a 1 and a 7, which is like leadership and knowledge, leading knowledge, being confident in seeking your knowledge. And then we have 8, which is a powerful number. So I feel like maybe there's going to be a lot of energy around developing your healing gifts this month. But to do so, I'm hearing it requires an open mind because it may not look the way you think it's supposed to look. Okay. All right. So what can you focus on this month? What can you focus on? Okay. So we have the 5 of Cups. The 5 of Cups is an energy of, it is a victimhood energy. Okay. It's an energy of sort of crying over something that's happened in the past. But I feel this is, I mean, Sagittarius is kind of the energy that's like, I don't want to deal with it, so I'm going to run full tilt into the future and not worry about it. I don't know if you're going to be able to do that with these energies. I feel like this is going to be a really important time because I feel like your healing journey is going to help others heal on their journey. So I feel like it's saying when you're looking back at these past moments and these past emotions, to really take the time, be open-minded with how you deal with them because it has to be a little different than you've done before. It's not going to drag you down. It's not going to be terrible or like dramatic. It's going to give you a lot of insight and it's going to heal you, right? Heal you of the past events. The 5 of Cups represents looking into the past, sadness of the past, wounds from the past, okay? So those moments of victimhood that come up where you feel you're not supported, the universe isn't supporting you, you're all alone in this, why is this always happening to me? Those moments are pinpointing to you the situations that are actually the wounds that need healing, because there's absolutely no one on this planet that's a true victim when it comes to the choices they've made for themselves, okay, or the choices or the circumstances. Well, I can't say circumstances, we're not going to get into that, but things that happen, they don't happen to you, they happen for you, okay? So that's the opening of the mind. All right, let's see what else you can focus on here. Okay, yeah, we have the Magician. The Magician is an energy of somebody who has a lot of experience, a lot of life experience. It doesn't matter how old you are. You could be an old soul, okay? And they're using all of the resources, all of the skills and the tools they have to bring their dreams into a reality, but it takes effort. So I feel like there's a focus on effort, but there's also a focus on recognizing that you have the skills and tool sets inside of you to do what you need to do. Yeah, look at that. Then we have the Ace of Cups. So the Ace of Cups is an energy of it's a new beginning in love, but predominantly I still feel like this is very much about you, Sagittarius. It's about you finding that inexhaustible source of love within and loving yourself first. I do feel like this is going to be a month of self-discovery for you, of personal self-discovery. So I feel but I do feel it's going to pay dividends down the road when you are help healing others. Okay. And for those of you who are in the midst of this journey, know that you can still heal others while you're healing yourself. Okay. There's no perfect time to be able to give of self, to share your gifts with others and help them heal. Okay. So what needs to be surrendered this month for you? So this is also very even though the Chariot represents Cancer, so we have the Ace of Pentacles and we have the Chariot, and what I heard very clearly was, when is this new beginning going to begin? If I move fast enough, if I rush fast enough, I'm going to get to that new beginning. And I just feel like this is what needs to be surrendered, is the need to rush into anything. Okay, this new physical beginning that you're building is going to take time. It's going to take determination, and you will be victorious with it, but there's no need to rush. So to surrender to timing a little bit, surrender, because what's coming up is we think that new beginnings, so we think that today is the last day of our old cycle and tomorrow's the new day of our new one, and it just ends right there. But it doesn't work that way. Our new beginnings, we plant seeds and then we nurture that seed and then it blossoms. Okay, so you're already in the process of creating that new beginning. It's not like you need to rush to start it, because the moment it was an intention in your energy, it started coming to life in your reality, but it just takes a little time to get there. And sometimes we have to weed the garden. So I feel like some of those things, those wounds from the past, the using your skills, finding your self-love, all of those things that you need to focus on are going to help you really just establish a very strong, sustainable earth for your new beginning to seed in. Okay. So some challenges that you will face this month. Oh, okay, we'll just throw it. I'll just throw it down on the ground. Okay, yeah. All right. Oh, there was two down here. Sorry, don't mind the mess on my bed. That's my office where I do some work. Yeah. So interestingly enough, I'm going to tell you, I saw the Seven of Wands. And then the Page of Wands was the second one I shuffled for, and I heard fear, but I didn't understand where that was coming from. And then we have the Moon. So the challenge here, we have, what I think is very fascinating is, this isn't fear, like you don't have the natural fear yourself. You're quite fearless, actually. The Seven of Wands is normally an energy of needing to defend what you believe in, needing to, despite going against the grain or the collective or what society thinks, okay, defending your true beliefs about self, going against the naysayers, if you will. So if you look at this would be the naysayers. It's society en masse, right? And here you are standing in your truth, and you feel quite small with it. But I feel what the energy is of this, and the challenge is going to be mindful of how people are speaking to you, not only about yourself, but what you would like to do with your future. Because I feel like you're going to absorb their fears in some way. Perhaps they're, maybe they sound like they have sound logic when they're arguing against or making comments about what you're doing. it's going to create the inability to make a decision. You're going to worry about doing the wrong thing. You're going to worry that it's not going to be received well because it's not being received by these certain people. So I feel like, you know, stand solid, create healthy boundaries around what is igniting passion in you. And I mean, it's not to say you shouldn't tell anyone. It's just to be mindful about when you do, not to take their response personal, because their response is a reflection of their own life experiences and where they're at. So I feel like that's going to be a bit of a challenge, but I do feel it's a challenge that you're up for. So yeah, so just be mindful of that. I think the longer you work on self-love, the more you put energy into yourself and knowing what you're doing, the world needs in some capacity, and that there are people that need you. I feel like you're going to be more stable with that, but I feel it's coming up now just for you to recognize that transaction with yourself and other people. All right, so let's take a look at some supportive energies for you. Yeah, so we have 2 10s here, so it tells me that there are cycles ending for you. We have the 10 of Wands, okay, and then we have the 10 of Pentacles. So I heard very clearly that you are going to find a lot of your answers when you start feeling into things. So an example, let's say you have this idea about what you want to do. How do you feel about it? Are you overwhelmed by it, or are you excited by it? Okay, that's going to tell you a lot about whether it's in alignment with your soul and what you're meant to be doing. If there are any aspects of your life, because this is the legacy card. The 10 of Pentacles is the legacy card. What kind of legacy you want to leave behind, those family foundations, okay? Look at the parts of your life that you are feeling burdened by, and that's going to give you the answer you seek. It's going to be where the answer is. In a way, it's going to create awareness for you around where the energy is stagnant, where you're not loving yourself enough, where you're not being patient or kind enough with yourself, where you're being limited, if you will. It's a supportive energy because you can use it to your advantage. Okay, very interesting energy. Yeah. Wow. And then on the bottom, we have the 10 of Swords. Okay, so this is demotion of the ego. To me, it's sort of that egoic, not death, because I feel we need ego. Ego is important. It just can't run the show. So it's going to kind of tell you where your ego has been running the show for you. I feel like that was the kind of the third piece that we were missing here, where anytime you're burdened, it's because you're leading with your ego and your mind or learned behavior and not with your heart. Okay. Because the heart can be vulnerable, it can be sensitive. It can be sensitive to these outside energies of people coming and sharing their opinion with you. And most of the time, you know, it's not because they want to be mean to you or they want to cut you down. They're kind of operating in their own space of fear. They're trying to protect you from hurting yourself, right? So that's what the ego does. The ego protects us from hurting ourselves. It protects us from not, shooting for the moon, because we may not get there and then we'll be disappointed. But the heart knows that if you shoot for the moon and you don't get there, you're still going to enjoy the journey along the way. And you're probably going to end up somewhere way more awesome for you than the moon, okay? So I feel like this is going to be a journey of self for you this month, which I think is a really beautiful thing. And I think if you can stay in the present as much as possible, go to the past when you need to acknowledge and release, go to the future when you want to be inspired by what you can do right now, but stay mostly in the present, because that's the only thing that is truly real. So what events... is there going to be an important event for you this month, Sagittarius? Okay, so we have an Angel of Balance card here and Rest and Rejuvenation. I feel like it's not necessarily, it could be. For some of you, you need something to forcefully, not hold you back, but like keep you still. Like forcefully make you rest. And I'm not gonna, like, I don't want to say it's going to be an unpleasant rest. I think there's going to, what I'm getting is the energy of being run down and being like, I need a timeout, and putting yourself in a timeout, but recognizing that, you know what, I need to slow down and create more balance in my life between all the aspects of self, my mind, my body, my spirit, right? All of those things need to be honored. And if you need to create routine around that to keep you more grounded, then have at her. All right, we're going to leave off with a message from the fairies, because I like the fairy guidance. I feel like they always just know the right thing to say. So renewal. Say, review the past and present so you can plan a bright future. Understand your life purpose. Releasing judgments of yourself and others. Okay. So I do feel like this makes a lot of sense, Sagittarius. We talked about healing the past. We talked about not getting too far into the future, but being very present. Understanding more of what you're meant to do, right? Your life purpose. And of course, releasing judgment of yourself and others. And that's honoring and sort of observing your interactions with others and how you may absorb other things from them. Okay, so I hope that this has helped. Be your peace, love yourself, share your light. Please like, share if this resonated. I've disabled the comments for now just because it's a very intense emotional time, and sometimes my videos tend to trigger people. So for now, I'm just going to disable the comments, but I appreciate you being here, and have yourself an amazing month, Sagittarius.